Hey, you know how everyone tells you, like, oh, I'm going to live to 100. Oh, don't worry about retiring in your 70s. That the average person dies at 100. People are living longer. Technology, blah, 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 blah. Well, that's a fucking lie, bro. And you know what made me really think about it? And people talk about this all the time, right? Like, this is nothing new. But what made me think about it is the last few days, man, I got two articles. That one senator guy, the Republican dude, Lindsey Graham, and then the actor from Jurassic Park. The main lead actor from Jurassic Park. They fucking died, dude, and they're in their 70s. I think one of them was like 77 or 78, and the other one was 71. And it made me think, like, almost all of my grandparents also passed away in their 70s. And a lot of people, I used to work at a gym, and a lot of the clients I had at this gym when I worked there were old as well. Old, right, with quotes, because they were all in their 70s, bro. And most of them died. So it made me think, okay, so let me actually look this up. I'm gonna look this up. And I feel like it's skewed, right? Because it's all averages. And then you have median, and I just don't feel like this is accurate, however, but it's closer than what I thought. Okay, so let's look at this. This is like US Census and CDC data, okay? So the average age of death, so average, not median, is 79 years. And the thing is the way we know averages work, right? In case you never, like, you know, passed elementary school, the way an average works is you take all of the data and then you add it together and divide it, and you get 79 years. Okay, so the bad thing with that is if somebody lives to like 110 or some crazy shit like that, it's gonna drag the average up, and that's not what you want. And hopefully, by the way, hopefully I might have made myself look like a dumbass. Hopefully that's actually how you do averages. Sometimes I'm a fucking idiot, but I believe you add them together and you divide it by the amount of people, or, you know, objects that you're doing the math in. Anyways, 79 years, most likely dragged up by people who lived quite a bit longer than that, okay? Females live an average age of 81.4 years. Males live an average of 76. You know, that's a whole other topic there that could be causing that. Let's keep going down our fact sheet. Okay, average for older adults. If an American reaches 65, they're expected to live an average of 19.7 more years, taking them to nearly 85 years old. I don't know about you, dude. The retirement age that they recommend is 67. Okay, so that leaves you with 17 years of retirement. 17 years ain't shit, dude. Because I'm 27 now. And when I was 17, I was like, oh, this is so long, like, blah, 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 like, I can't believe it. And now that I'm 27, it's been an extra 10 years, and it just went by like, boom. And a lot of you guys out there are probably older than I am, most likely. And what the fuck, man? Like, we all know that's not a lot of time. Like, that's not a lot of time. And I'm not saying, like, don't plan for retirement. I'm a big retirement planner, okay? I save quite a bit. However, I also spend quite a bit, because that's fucking whack, man. 17 years? But, I mean, even if you retire early, that's not great. Median age of death, the CDC probably reports average, of course, but the median age of death is slightly higher, typically in the early 80s. The average is pulled down by deaths that occur in infancy, youth, and middle age. Oh, so maybe I was wrong. Maybe it was backwards. Either way, let's say I got this catastrophically wrong and I'm way off. None of that adds up to what the court of public opinion here, the false information that gets passed around by all of us when you go around. None of that adds up to 100, man. The median and the average are not even close. I mean, even the median has a 20-year gap, dude. And the top leading causes of death. Let's look at the top leading causes of death here, okay? Number one, you probably guessed it, heart disease. Nobody's shocked about that, okay? Leading cause for over 22% of all deaths, heart disease, okay? Second, cancer. Nobody's shocked by that. If you're shocked by that, you're a dipshit. Second leading cause of death, 20% of adults. This one actually, okay, so this one, if you believe this, you're in the same camp as probably everybody else, okay? So number three, unintentional injuries, okay? Accidents. Drug overdoses, okay, if you include drug overdoses, I'm not shocked, because I thought fentanyl was like one of the highest causes of death in the United States. So drug overdoses, motor vehicle accidents, fatal falls, okay? I'm not gonna lie, that's a little spooky that accidents are number three, but Yeah, I mean, if you include drug overdoses in there, I mean, you're playing with fire a little bit. Like, I don't know if you can necessarily consider that an accident per se. I think most of us are aware that things are laced. There's like that joke that like we can't even do drugs anymore. Like, I don't know. And addiction is a disease, and it's a very well documented mental issue, and it's very tragic and it's sad, and we should really like help these people out and give them the help they need. But drug overdose, I don't know. That's a whole other conversation. Yeah, these statistics I'm getting, they're lumping some things together that I feel like should be separate. But like putting motor vehicle accidents with drug overdose, I don't know. Anyways, stroke. Number 4 is stroke. Number 5 is chronic lower respiratory diseases like severe asthma and COPD. 6 is Alzheimer's. That is terrifying. 7, diabetes. 8, kidney disease. 9, chronic liver disease. And 10, suicide. That is fucking awful. I was not expecting that. But yeah, I mean, I guess if you avoid cancer, unintentional injury, stroke, chronic low respiratory disease, Alzheimer's, diabetes, kidney disease, chronic liver disease, and suicide, you might live past 80. Okay? You might live past your 70s. And to go back to this, that is actually really tragic that drug overdose is that high on there. We got to do something about that. That's actually terrible. That's going to get me on a whole other tangent. That's really sad, man. The access that people have to drugs nowadays is bonkers. Like that shit is everywhere. Fentanyl is everywhere, and nobody's really has like a full solution to that. I mean, some states have decriminalized it in an attempt to make it safer and less likely to overdose. Some states have very severe punishments. They go to prison. They still get drugs. They die anyways. I don't know. I'm just some random ass dude talking into his mic. I don't have the solution there, but that's definitely tragic that that's up there. I mean, heart disease, you could argue, is actually like a similar case. In I would say adjacent, because you have all these like food companies poisoning our food, and you have fast food. I mean, I think I remember reading somewhere that McDonald's is one of the largest, like, I don't know how to word this. It's one of the largest companies that feeds Americans in the country, right? And I love McDonald's. Like, I fucking love it, which is tragic because that shit is basically straight up poison. And in other countries, it's slightly better because they actually have regulations, unlike we do. So in a way, a lot of this stuff is poison. I mean, you could also look at number 2, cancer, and be like, hey, what's actually causing this cancer? And it's probably lack of regulations that's poisoning us. Unintentional injuries, car accidents. You know, you could also probably attribute that one to the fact that everyone nowadays has an SUV or a truck. Like the other day, I was looking to buy look into buying like a smaller car, like those Geos. They used to make Geos. They have regulations where they can't even produce stuff like that anymore because it's considered unsafe. And the reason why it's considered unsafe is because everyone has a fucking SUV and a truck. So, I mean, you go to other countries and most of the cars are a little bit smaller. You come here and they're just fucking huge, man. Like, I see trucks that are like the size of a house. So a lot of these things I feel like can actually be avoided. Like if we had like public transit, or if we kind of reduce the amount of large trucks and SUVs that are in circulation. Also the fact that we use semi trucks to deliver most of our goods, and those guys have to work crazy long hours where they avoid sleep, and then accidents happen there. I feel like you can probably, I would include, I guess if we're lumping things in together, I would include unintentional injuries through the hospital, because doctors and surgeons work such long hours that they make mistakes as well. That can lead to loss of life. So I think our lifestyle and our culture is really causing this issue for the most part. Heart disease, fast food, bad food, cancer, fucking everything we do. Accidental injuries, working too many hours. You can even argue that the drug overdose is attached to that, because most people that do drugs, in my opinion, are trying to practice escapism. Maybe they're homeless and they're hungry, and that's the only way they can distract themselves. Maybe they just think their life sucks and they're working too many hours and they don't have hope. Like, that's a form of escapism that leads to death. And then you have the truck drivers, like I was saying, that have to work crazy long hours and meet these ridiculous quotas. And it's just sad, man. I feel like a lot of this stuff can be prevented, and whole other side topic here, but yeah, basically what I'm getting at is they're fucking lying to us, man. Like, you're not going to live much longer than 67, and really, as a society, we're doing this to ourselves. But also, there's a level of public responsibility that needs to be followed here, because personal responsibility is a big deal too, man. Like, you can avoid a lot of these things with personal responsibility, like physical fitness, practicing a healthier diet, getting better sleep. But then you have the societal responsibility, where most of the people that control these things in society are ultra wealthy, or the actual movers and controllers of the economy. But yeah, don't think you're going to live much past 80, man. I don't think you're going to live much past 80. Those articles really got me thinking about that.